How's it going, guys? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So good to see you guys. Okay, yeah, my microphone's working. I've done that before. I don't turn on my mic. I always forget. Now, I was just kind of snooping at the chat there, and we're having some fun there before. Did I see Nancy in there? I thought I saw somebody say hi to Nancy on there. So that's pretty exciting. I haven't seen Nancy on here in a while. So let's do that, everybody. Let's jump on into the chat and say hello to everybody. So here we go. Dwight is here. Welcome, sir. And there's my old pal, Art, PDRR engineer. Good to see you, sir. Thanks so much for coming in. Hi, Balling Hogger. Hello. Norman, good to see you. And there's the Carver. Now, Carver, you keep asking me about operations. And I think you're just trying to get trains running here so you can come on over and try them out. Is that right, Carver? So I think that's my plan anyways, is to have you and Randy come on over. I just lost my place. There's Nathan Delay and Heath. I was talking to you earlier on the chat. And there's Nancy. So it's good to see you, Nancy. Thanks so much for joining us and coming on over. I haven't seen you in a long time, so it's good to see you. Welcome. There's Jerry. Hey, Jerry. How you doing? And there's Why Are You Naked? That's Rob. How you doing, Rob? And there's John from Schuylkill River Valley. How you doing, John? I'm loving your show, by the way. I watched the last one with you guys, and you had Wilmer on there, and everybody, and Mark was on there. It was really awesome. I like how Wilmer does the going back in time to the old videos. It was pretty cool. So it was, yeah, really good show. And there's Containerman68. Roy, how you doing, sir? Good to see you. I saw your video too. Now, one thing I got to tell you guys is I watch a lot of your videos on the big screen, so that's why you don't see me comment a lot, because most of the commenting and work I do away from the computer is on my cell phone. So anyways, I do try to get around and check out the videos. So anyways, yeah, back on track here, Roy, I liked your video with the trucks and your vehicles and stuff, because that's something we're going to talk about tonight a little bit, is vehicles. All right, let's keep rolling on down here. There's the other Roy Smith from Panama. Good to see you, Roy. Guys, just let me know, is the sound just crackling a little bit? I might just have my mic just a hair loud. Just let me know if it's just a little distorted at all. I'm just watching my monitor here. And anyways, and there's Nate from the Tyadotton Valley Railroad and Coal Company. And there's Dave from the BNSFN scale. Good to see you. Well, good. Hey, and there's Sparky. How's it going, Sparky? I haven't interacted with Sparky in a while, so it's good to see you, sir. Thanks for joining us. There's King Fox Junction. All right, guys, sweet. All right, let's just jump on back over here. Let's do a little homework like we always do. Nobody's really mentioned... Okay, Carver's saying it sounds good, so thanks, Carver. On my end, it was just a little crackly, so I just wanted to double check. And I have a little monitor down here, and it was going into the red a little, so just wanted to double check that. So thank you for that. So let's do a little homework, guys. Monday nights for live streams. We've got Nate, who we were just talking about, with the Tyadotton Valley Railroad and Coal Company. He's got Narrow-Minded Monday. Great show. Also on Monday nights, we have Tom's Trains and Things with his live show. I've been on there a few times. Really good show. He's got lots of cool effects and stuff. Cool thing to check out. And of course, Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Of course, we've got On Track Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And next week, as always, we have Dave Thurber with the Crooked River and Eastern Railroad. And Dave's another one that I checked out recently. He had a really nice switching video. Now that came up. Now, here's something funny. Because for you guys to pop up on my Apple TV, suggested is huge. Because my daughter's always on there watching her kids' videos and stuff. I normally have to go into my subscriptions to catch up with everybody. But Dave, you popped up on the suggested. So that's huge. So just so you know, you're doing something right there. So congratulations on that, Dave. And it was a great video. I loved it, the switching one you did. Anyways, I always get off track. So let's talk about Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is Sparky 107, of course, with his live chat show. And later that night, after Sparky at 9 p.m., we have Michael McCarville. And I haven't mentioned Michael at all yet on the show, so I actually messaged Wilmer to see, because I've watched Michael's, not his live stream, but I've watched his channel. And this guy's an expert modeler, guys. So if you haven't checked out Michael, go and check it out. He does some beautiful craftsman kits and craftsman work. And really something to check out and yeah, see how it's going over there. So that brings us into Thursday, and of course we still always have Hot Rod Rodney. And next week, Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's next Thursday, we have Go Via or Go Home After Dark. And with everything being lifted, will we see Mark back on the show? I'm not sure. Maybe a little closer social distance show. I'm not sure, but I know where we are. They're starting to open things, and the malls are around us are apparently going to open on Friday, which is really nice, and they're opening patios, so they're not going full blown, but they're they're calling it stage 2. Like, they've let back at home where I'm originally from, Owen Sound, they're starting to open it up, and we're just a bit behind because it's a way more populated area. We're close to Toronto, right? So anyways, that is that. There's John 2618, and there's another person that I've been watching lately. John, just incredible modeler. He blows my mind with his work. It's insane. Like, just the grass and the snow, the weathering, the way he blends the roads into the grass, just friggin' awesome. So yeah, John 2618 there. That's something that bugs me, and I get it, but it irritates me how we can no longer sub to somebody from the live chat. I get why they do it, because they have all these channels, these sub for sub type channels, but it just ruins it for everybody else, right? Because this is something where you got a nice community like this where it's not really like that, and you know what I mean? And it just bugs me. So if you get a chance after all of these people, go and check them out. And it's just too bad you can't just click and go on over, but whatever. What can you do, right? And there's Dwayne. No problem, sir. Thank you for all the support. So that's Dwayne's Fork and Spoon, guys. He did a little shout out for him this morning, and Dwayne's always supported me, like way back. He's always commented and been really great to me. So I thought I'd return the favor as much as I could, and Dwayne's another one. I'm sure all you guys subscribe to Dwayne, but yeah, great channel and great railroad. It's really coming along. Really, he's really getting finished on the scenery. Anyway, so we were in Thursday there. Now let's go to Friday. It's Vinny with BNF 6951. Cousin Vinny. I actually popped into his show as well. I believe it was last week I was on there, and there's tons of people on there, so that was a really good show. Vinny's got lots of cool effects and stuff too, green screen and everything going. Saturday, Back on Track, and that's a really great show. A group of guys, John from the School Hill, how do you say that, John? I always screw that up, I'm sorry. Right. Schuylkill River Valley Railroad. He's one of the founders of the show. Good time. That's Saturday mornings. And then Sundays we have Ray Boble, and I believe Ray just does it once a month. If you guys can correct me on the chat for Ray Boble. So that ends that. So one more thing I wanted to mention was our show. I mentioned this on the mail call shoutouts and updates video, but I wanted to say it again here because it's On Track Tuesday. Every fifth Tuesday, or every time we have a fifth Tuesday in the month, we try to bring in a special guest or a special guest host. And this month, I'm happy to announce that we have Flying Crow. So that's Robert. Flying Crow is on here a lot, participating and commenting and all that, and adding his advice. Flying Crow, really great prototype modeler. He does a lot of super detailing on diesels and stuff. So basically take me when I say I add a few details, make him look kind of Canadian looking. He goes full out, like he's cutting out the grills and you know what I mean, and adding stuff here and there. He goes full out like crazy. So that should be interesting. I'm excited about that. So yeah, everybody, that is the 5th Tuesday. I believe it's June 30th. At 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go on over to Flying Crow for his version of On Track Tuesday. So let's go on back into the chat. See what you guys are saying. Let's see here. Hey, and there's New Fenris William. How you doing? The New Fenris Railroad. Good to see ya. So we got lots of people in here. That's good. Thanks, guys, for joining me. I appreciate it. So yeah, let's jump on back here. I'm just going to get rid of this stuff. So what I can do, I can get rid of this before I switch screens. There. Ta-da! Pretty good. All right, we did it. Okay, so I still have the screen there, so if you really want to get a hold of me, just put that at Creative Rails, and normally I'll see that if you want to ask a question or anything. So let's jump on into it. So tonight I said we're just going to do a little bit of show and tell, a little bit of this. I don't have a crazy show planned. What I do really love doing is showing you guys live, like the towns and everything that are happening on the railroad, but we've got a little too far ahead. The reason being, well, I started this show up in the office, right, which is kind of a stupid idea. I shouldn't have done that. But basically, I think we're up to Parkhead right now, and Parkhead is the next town. So I'm going to hold off for a little bit until we get up here and start moving forward. And our next show about a town will be about Shallow Lake. And that's actually where I'm from. I'm from Owen Sound, but where I was raised was very close to Shallow Lake. So I'm excited about that. And the funny thing is, Shallow Lake, there wasn't really a whole lot going on, but it's a kind of a cool little scene to model. Anyways, so I'm just kind of watching you guys here. Is RDNT here? Carver's here. There's Melvin Fackler. Hello, sir. Welcome. And if I've missed anybody, I apologize. I don't mean to do that on purpose. That's, you know what, too? I keep doing this. Okay, there. I've changed it to live chat. I keep doing it. I don't know. It does it automatically. I think it's on live chat, so I hope I'm not missing you guys and you're missing on here. But we'll see. Okay, so like I said, tonight we're just going to do a bit of show and tell and stuff like that. First thing I want to talk about is the Helix. Last time we were on here, we were driving a train up here, and I don't know if you guys noticed, I finally got to watch the replay of the show, and I was having problems. I actually contacted Sparky because the replay of I like to watch the live chat after just to see if I missed anything and this and that, but nobody really caught it when the train kind of stalled over there. So I was mentioning on the one Helix video that if you're out just like, you gotta dip like even like 1/8 of an inch, it makes a huge difference. And what happened was, in the far corner back here in behind, I didn't have the benchwork complete underneath, so the Helix was kind of floating. It wasn't supported. So I finally got that cut and put in, and now it's pushed up, and now the trains are running a lot better. I'm getting a lot bigger trains, so I'm really happy with that. Another thing is, we're going to talk about this in a little bit, but the steam engine, I was really worried about the steam engines. Well, I've come up with something. I've come up with my own version of the frog snot, and it worked. It actually worked, folks. So I can get the steam engines up the Helix with the passenger train. So not a huge train, but basically the size of train I wanted. So that was going to be a disaster. If I couldn't get the steam pulling the passenger train up the Helix, that was going to be horrible. I'm not joking. And I think it's there he is, Teddy Train Guy. There you are. I've been seeing you a lot commenting, so it's good to see you, man. Teddy Train Guy. I think you must be a new addition on here. You must have come around recently. So yeah, thanks, man. And I really appreciate the support and you helping out, man. That's awesome. There's Joe Radar. Good to see ya. And SF Ratton NZ. And I asked you this before. Is that New Zealand? It's probably a stupid question, but I can't see that. I think it is, but anyways, let's get back to it. So that's about it with the Helix, guys. So that's really big news. And like I said, I'm going to talk about the steam engine in a little bit. But yeah, so basically the frog snot, what I'm using is, I don't know if you guys remember, a long time ago I did a video. People didn't really like it, but it was a video that showed the liquid electrical tape that you can get at just Home Depot. I got thinking about it. I'm like, that frog stuff. And the reason my hobby shop doesn't have it. They'd have to order it. On eBay it was like $30, which I'm willing to pay because it lasts forever. But to ship it was like another $30. I'm like, man, come on. Like, and I don't have time for shipping right now. So I tried my liquid electrical tape. And guys, it worked. It totally worked. So I'm getting a decent sized train up the helix. So it's pretty awesome. So we'll talk a little bit more about that because it's kind of a funny story with the steam engine. It's killing me. It's killing me. That steam engine. So Dave BNSF is saying, not the worst thing if you have to double head your steamers. Totally true, Dave. And now, here's the cool part about this railroad, which is really intriguing and something I didn't know about where I'm from. Double headers happen all the time, up to Owen Sound and coming out of Owen Sound. The big thing is I wanted to really kind of like capture the real thing though, and the double headers are on the big grain train. So that's totally fine. I'll have to actually do that for a grain train. So like a train of probably 10 or more boxcars, no problems, totally cool. But I really, really, really wanted to have those little 10-wheelers pulling, and Pacifics pulling the little passenger trains up the helix. And I was having a really hard time with it, but it looks like it's gonna all work out. So I'm really, really happy about it. So yeah, that's it for the helix. All I'm going to talk about right now. Something else I've been working on is my Waybills, and I wanted to talk about this on the last live stream, but I kind of ran out of time. I've showed you guys this before. It's my little Wilmer Waybill box, and all it is, it's just like a file folder, and this is how I'm storing my Waybills, and this is how I build trains. So basically, each section here is a section for a type of car. So we've got tank car, gondola, reefer, stock cars, and you can really go as crazy as you want. You can divide it up into types of box cars, types of tank cars, whatever you want, right? But I keep it really simple. But what will happen is you'll take that number generator, and let's say you pull it pulls a tank car, stock car, box car. So what you basically, you're just going to come over here, and this will be over at staging eventually, and you're just going to pull a waybill, a random waybill. So this will be the car that goes on the car that goes on your train. And these waybills, I got this idea from Trevor Marshall, and this is what I've been busy doing, is printing these out and filling them in. And I've got them so a Canadian National car has the Canadian National waybill or name on it, right? And I've just kind of got everything on there. So I've got so it's, and I've made up like little jokes. So since this is a stock car, this one's coming from my brother-in-law. He actually was a sheep farmer. He doesn't do it as much anymore, but totally was. And so yeah, it's coming from my brother-in-law, Herman. It's actually going to Montreal, and it's coming from the Tatchin Farms, and it's going to be picked up at the Owen Sound stock pens. And I've got little things here like special instructions. So I've got, you know, special livestock, extra care, 50 head of sheep. And like I said, it's heading to Montreal to an auction there. And then you switch it when you're done that move and you got something else. So then we're going to, you can come from Owen Sound to Toronto. And that's the stockyards in Toronto, which is actually a big shopping center now. I've actually worked there. But everything's on there, so you got like 25 cattle, and it's kind of fun. You can kind of make it up, and you put the type up here, and then for another move, what you do is you've got the empty car bill, and so this tells you where you're going. So this one we're going to be loading, and it's going to go to Owen Sound to what spot, the stock pens, and that's October 12th, 1957, and yeah, it's kind of cool. And what did I put on the other side here? So same thing. Yeah, for load. Yeah, so yeah, you get different moves and different places to go. Kind of works out cool. All right, so, okay. Here we go. Somebody was talking, okay. So Sparky's saying, but isn't liquid electrical tape not an insulator? Yes, and that's a really good point, Sparky. So the good news is I've done all-wheel pickups on the tender. So so basically with these old engines, any brass, here, let me show you guys how these old brass and old metal engines work. Now this is my brass, this isn't the 10-wheeler, but basically your tender would pick up one side of the rail and the locomotive would pick up the other side of the rail. So you'd really didn't have that much pickup anyways. So what I've done on that one, I've converted it, I insulated it with that liquid electrical tape, and I've made every driver a pickup. So I've got extra pickup there. So yes, I've lost the front pickup now by putting that insulation on there. But a lot of these good running engines have tires on them anyway, so I mean, I'm not too worried about it. But the good news is, on top of that, I have all-wheel pickup on the tender. It's not just right on the back truck and left on the front truck. It's right and left on the back and right and left on the front. And I've done that with the little Katie springs that you find in the number 5 coupler boxes. And I learned that actually from, what's his name? The Big Show. You guys know. Shoot. Anyways, I learned it on there to do how he did passenger cars. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to use that for this, and it's been working great. And so, especially with the TCS, the capacitor on there, it totally works great. It goes over the frogs and everything. So it's been an issue. We'll talk about that. You know what? We'll talk about it right now. We're going to jump into it right now because that's my next section of this, anyways. But anyway, Sparky. Just to answer your question, and whoever else asked about that, the installation, it is working good because I do have all tender pickup. So I put up, we're going to get into kind of the question parts and question and answer, but this is not really related to YouTube, but it's more related to like Facebook and Instagram. I put this up here as a little meme I made. What's it say? I may be counting rivets, but don't ever call me a rivet counter. Now, this, I am actually not joking about. So I put this on a certain Facebook group, and it got a funny reaction. There's a reason why I said that. Some people, yeah, what's neat? That's what it was on. Sorry, guys. Ken Patterson. Oh my goodness, I couldn't think. Ken Patterson. That's what it was. He showed it. Anyways, back to this. So me growing up as a model railroader and being in clubs and stuff, rivet counter had a different connotation and not necessarily a good one. And so what I'm saying by this is, yes, I may be counting rivets, but don't call me a rivet counter because I don't want to be called a rivet counter. You can call me whatever, like a beginner, intermediate, prototype, model railroader, whatever. But anyways, long story short, most people got it, but some people didn't. And this is a remark I got on Facebook. So this is the difference between YouTube and the rest of the web. Here we go. So this was one of the responses I got to this picture. Do you make diamonds from coal with your ass? A bit OCD there? So, oh my goodness. So, this is hilarious. Now, if you notice on there's a laughing face. That laughing face was by me. That was my response. Now, the funny thing is, I responded to this with humor. I wrote back, I totally wish I could do that. And then I explained to him, you know what? I'm not really OCD. What those are, this is the tender right here. They're actually those micromark decal rivets, if you can see them. Oh, come on. Focus, 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 focus. There we go. They're the MRC decal rivets, and there's the back. I've got the back done. So the point was, I'm not counting rivets. I have a picture, and I'm copying the picture. I'm trying to make it look like the picture of the original thing, but I'm not actually counting the rivets. So that's why I said I may be counting rivets, but don't ever call me a rivet counter. So it's very similar, but I'm not going to count out these and do these individually. It's a decal that you can get, and it's working pretty good. They stick on there pretty good. So this is the tender for the steam engine. What I did, I took an old Bachmann tender and I cut it down and I put it back together. It's primed now. I did have the light on here. I made a custom bracket, but I had to take it off because I had to drill it out to get the wires in and stuff. Then what happens right here, there's actually a board. It's a piece of wood that goes in here. So I just got to do that. I got to do the rivets on the other side. But then this will be pretty well done. And then what I wanted to show you guys is a little shout out to John Dilly. this is what the coal load's going to look like. I got to sand it a little bit, but nice and high. Canadian National always kept those coal loads really high, so that's how that will be. On the back, this is what the footboards look like. They're very close to the prototype, except on the prototype they're solid, so I might just fill those in. I might use paper. That's a little trick I use sometimes to do that. But yeah, this is coming together really, really nice. I'm really happy with it. It's, you know, it's not exactly, but I've just proportioned it to the photos, and it's working. It's working pretty good. So yeah, I'm happy with it. So yeah, some modifications. I added this thing back here with styrene. So yeah, we're getting there. So you're probably wondering what's going on with the steam engine. So I told you guys last that the decoder came in, and there was some concern with wow sound. A few people. So I did have some issues with it. There's the big issue is programming, right off the hop, programming the address. But anyways, I'm going to talk about that on a video because it's kind of complex what I had to do to program the address, which I wasn't too keen on. But the thing sounded amazing. And the motor control with those crappy little Chinese motors that I'm using, incredible. So it worked good. I do have some reservations about it though, I do. But here's where things get funny. If you guys remember last time I showed you, I brought the steam engine out, and it's kind of, I call it Frankenstein, and you're, oh, it's ugly. I kind of did that with the engine just to test with the capacitor. I wanted to see how the pickups were working with the insulation on the wheel and see if we can get up the helix. It worked. It's working great. But long story short, I had the wires loose, not insulated, and part of the wires grabbed the underneath of the helix, like the top part of the helix, and just by chance, the gray and the red wire touched, and poof, done. So that's the second decoder I've blown up in my entire life. So congratulations to me. Complete stupidity on my end. Totally stupid. I shouldn't have done it. It was just pure laziness. I could have thrown some electrical tape on the naked wires just temporarily, but I was taking it off, putting it on, taking it off, putting it on. It was just to give you guys an idea. You want to blow up a decoder real quick, I'll show you how to do it. So this is an old lens decoder, but I've shown you guys this before. But anyways, black and red are your pickups. So red normally goes to your right rail, black to your left rail, but it doesn't really matter if you get it backwards. You can switch it on the decoder. And then gray and orange go to your motor. Okay, no big deal. Cool, right? We're all good. You ever touch these? You ever touch your pickup to your motor? Boom, instant dead. Instant death, okay? So don't ever do that. Learn from my mistake. I've done it before. Same kind of thing. I told about the last show. Anyways, the good thing is TCS has a really good warranty program. So I filled out the warranty, sent it off. It's on the way. But I think what I'm going to do, Sparky and Chris's buddy there at Otter Valley, he's got Tsunami 2 there that I might order. That's a good deal. So I might just get that for now, and I might just put the wow sound in the brass engine because I'm really excited to get this thing going. Like it's so close. I just got to get the rivets on that and paint it, and we're pretty well there. So that's what has happened with that. So this steam engine is driving me crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's been a crazy amount of work. And the other thing is just like ordering stuff and getting it here and planning. The good news is that the engines from now on are going to be a lot quicker because now I have kind of like a jig to work off, or kind of like a model to work off. Now I have it planned, whereas I was kind of figuring everything out as I was going with this. But the next ones will be a lot quicker, so that's good. But yeah, it's been a lot of work. Like just building the thing. It's built, like I told you guys before, it's built with a conduit. Then I turned dowels to make the steam dome and the sand dome, and then I used parts from Shapeways, miniatures by Eric, cal scale, yeah, crazy amount, filling, styrene, all kinds of things. Running boards were built by scratch, everything. So yeah, a lot of work trying to figure all that out. Then you got issues with weight, now because it's plastic, not as heavy, now it's not heavy enough. Then you got this old chassis by Varney that runs like absolute crap. So dealing with that, the front truck coming off. So it's getting there. I'm going to be really happy when that thing is done. So let's just jump on here. I feel I've been here yapping What are you guys up to here? I thought I saw you, Gaffa. Hello, sir. It's another. I saw Nancy on here. Now you're here. That's so awesome. Thanks, Gaffa, for joining us. I appreciate it. And Jacob J, another one I haven't seen. And Jacob, I've been watching your funny videos lately. I saw you're talking about doing a contest possibly. And then you had one today about the sky, like just pictures of the sky. That's pretty cool. So anyways, yeah, thanks guys for joining us. Real smoke coming from the steam engine, but just for a split second. You know what, Roy? I was messed because I had JMRI going on here, and as you guys know, JMRI is a pain for me. But I was just kind of working on the computer here, and I had it going, and all of a sudden I just heard a just like that. And I turned and I looked, and I saw those two wires very close to each other. I'm like, no, don't tell me. And the way you know, you turn on the power back to the layout, and as soon as you hear a whirr, and the motor's going full blast, your decoder, you fry the decoder, and that's exactly what I did. So, yeah, yes. Inked rails. Are you planning to get more steam locomotives? Yes, sir. Yeah, so I'm building 3 10-wheelers Canadian National. So the first one's number 1530. The second one is going to be 1525s. They're basically both sisters. And then the third one's going to be 1576, which is a sister of 1532, which is slightly bigger than these guys. The ones I'm building right now are Class Gs, I believe. I can't remember. Don't quote me on that. But the 1576 is a little bit bigger, a little bit more popular. But I didn't want to do 1532 just because you see it a lot. It's done in brass and this and that. Another one I'd like to purchase is I'd like to get one of the Rapido 10-wheelers, but I'm thinking maybe Canadian Pacific. I've been kind of going back and forth on brass. This is a big part of it. I want to get them soon. I don't want to spend that much money on all those steam engines, right? So I'm doing these for about $200, which isn't too bad. That includes the decoder. So think about that. The decoder is about 120, 130 Canadian dollars. So yeah, not bad, right? So anyways, yeah. And I think when you guys, and it's pretty cool when you build it yourself. It's I've never done it before, but it's really rewarding. It's taking forever, as you guys know. But a lot of that's me. The actual work hasn't been that crazy, but it's just getting the time, you know. Plus building the layout, plus working in the basement, this and that, blah blah. Anyways, Nancy's saying I may not always comment, but I'm watching. Well, thanks, Nancy. That's great. That's awesome. All right, SF Ratton's taking off. Have a good night. Good to see you. I would also suggest you disable operation on DC. Is that on the WoW sound, Nate? I could see that. There is some issues. I can see how people are having problems with them. Like the main thing right out of the gate, programming. It won't program on my programming track. I had to go right in with the Digitize software and do some things I've never done before, like flipping bits and stuff, which that's insane. You can't do that with a normal DCC system. So that's right there. That's a major problem. So I got to work, but that's insane. So I will talk about that later on. So let's go on back, folks. Where were we? I was going to go into the second question. So this was by Chris Mitchell, and I think this was from the well, I only had the 2 videos, so I think it's a layout update. Your layout is looking great. As for me, I love my Static King applicator. My club has tried several different types, and this one is fantastic. The battery ones are not that great. Let it set about 30 minutes and then use your vacuum with pantyhose. It really stands up perfectly. Just my way. Thought I would share, Chris. Well, thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate it, and I really appreciate that comment because the Static King is actually the one I've been looking at. And the only reason for that is my local hobby shop has it in stock, and they have all the Woodland Scenics grasses, which I am using over there. So I thank you for that, because some people apparently have been having problems, but I don't know. One thing I'm wondering is when people are, just because foam scenery is so popular, I'm wondering if people are having problems with continuity with the foam. I'm not sure. But I appreciate that. I've heard it's decent, so I thought I would give it a try. It seemed like a decent price. So what I'm going to do is just try to put different lengths and a few different colors and just try to make it just look a little different, right? Like I as you guys know, I try to make it just look a little different from everybody else's. So hopefully it works out. So anyways, thanks again, Chris, for that comment. I really appreciate it. And our third question or comment, and I think this was from, this is from today. So this is from SSW Train Freak 86, Jason W. Hi there, great shoutouts and pretty cool car. Did they have anything HO scale size? Also, from what I hear is micro engineering is very good stuff. Hope you like that viaduct bridge. Looking forward to On Track Tuesday tonight. Well, thank you so much, Jason. Let's start with micro engineering. The funny thing is, when I was originally planning this layout, I was actually going to go with all micro engineering. It was advertised a lot. It looked cool. It looks nice. But again, started getting online and looking at reviews and stuff. A lot of people weren't sure about micro engineering and the track and the switches and what happened with me. So I'll show you some. I got some right here. Like these, I had a bunch of Atlas turnouts Code 83 already. So I just kind of stuck with them. I'm not saying I won't use Pico or Pico, however you say it, or micro engineering, but for now I'm using some of my old ones, and then we'll see after that. As far as that bridge goes, I know Vinny built the same bridge, but he went straight, and I'm going on a tighter curve than you can. The bridge, I know Vinny, he had a lot of people I here with it have problems with it, and I can see already why. It's keeping the thing square, keeping it sturdy. I was almost thinking of copying Vinny and cutting a piece of wood and gluing the sides to it and seeing how that would work, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that or not. So I don't know. I'll keep you guys updated. I'm gonna try to build it the way I should, but we'll see. So before we go on to the car part, I was just gonna jump back into the chat room real quick. Because Inked Rails had a question. Would you build a roundhouse for your layout if era appropriate? Yeah, Inked Rails 100% am. There was a roundhouse in Owen Sound. It was a 3-stall, an old wooden one. So it's actually a pretty easy build because it's wood. Doing that, and I'm also going to attempt scratch building the turntable. And the turntable I don't think is going to be an issue. I can do that. What I do want to do, which I think is going to be hard, but I have it planned in my head and I have the electronics to do it. I want to have it indexed. And what I want to do is basically have a rotary switch, which I've already bought. I'm going to turn that rotary switch to the track, and then you flip it on. You'll have 3 speeds, slow, medium, fast, and it will turn and it will stop on that track. I'm doing it with sensors, with IROI sensors, whatever you call it, IO sensors, however you say it. The infrared ones. I'm going to try it with that. So that'll be the thing, to get it to index accurately every time. I don't know if it will, because it depends on that reflection, right? Because what's going to happen is when that beam reflects back and senses itself, it's going to turn something on, but what it's going to do is turn on a relay, but that relay will turn that signal off. That's my theory behind it. But I don't know if it's going to work. So it's one of those things, if it doesn't, I'll just do it manually, but with the motor. But yeah, good question, Inkrels. There will be a roundhouse with a turntable, and that's a known sound, but that's a while from now. That's not going to be happening, as you know, from the rate that I'm going. And that's another thing, too, I wanted to say, like this here, this actually isn't where we're going to stay. We're actually going to be going down the hall. There's a special spot down the hall for this desk that you guys are at right now with me. And behind me will actually be Owen Sound. This, where we are right now, this will all be open. And it's actually going to be a lift out, 2 lift outs going across to the 2 separate levels. But we're quite a ways away from that at this point, because I haven't even finished the drywall down that hall, which I have the drywall, but as you know, I like to procrastinate. I've been having too much fun with my trains. It's Nancy saying at Creativist, are you going to build a logging camp or logging industry? If so, will you film it so I can see? Because I'm thinking of putting a logging camp on my layout. So the cool thing is, Nancy, this scene right here on the prototype, like for real, right in here, there was a logging mill, like a sawmill, and it was owned by Krug Brothers. And Krug Brothers is this factory in here. So they were a really wealthy family in Chesley, Ontario, way back in the day. And they had a sawmill, and they used their own sawmill with all the hardwood they process the hardwood and to build their own furniture here in Chesley. Now the issue is I don't have a lot of room. What I wanted 100% get on my wish list is get the, they had a dam. So I want the upper level of water and then the waterfall and then the lower river below that. But I only have about this much space. I only have about, I don't know, about a foot. I might just do the actual logging building as a flat on the backdrop, or I might try my attempt at hand painting it, which won't look amazing, but what I'll do is disguise it with trees just to give the impression that it's there, but you'll still have the water. So, and then we'll have like the logs and stuff around, but it won't be a full out logging camp, and it won't be, it wasn't serviced by the railroad. It was, they had a road going in and they trucked it over to the factory. Okay, there is a gold mine going in on my layout I'm working on as we speak. Oh, nice, Nancy. That's pretty cool. Nathan wrote, Ben, are you going to scratch build more locomotives? And I don't mean so mean about this one. It's very limited on certain locomotives. Yeah, so that's the thing, Nathan. So I'm doing the 3 10-wheelers, and then I'm going to do a Pacific. And I shouldn't say scratch build, but basically the boiler scratch built, and the rest is kit bashed. And a few of them I'm going to scratch build the tenders. But I'm not scratch building the chassis and the wheels. It's just way too much work to buy the wheels, and I'm not into that, right? And don't have the time to learn how to do that. So I should say I'm calling it scratch build / kit bash. All right, so let's where were we? Let's jump back over here. Ah, yes. So Jason was also asking about those cars, and I said I was going to talk about that tonight. So it's a great question. Do they come in HL scale? And yeah, they absolutely do. So I'm going to lose you guys in the chat for 1 second because I'm going to just show you guys the website where these came from. So it was actually Inked Rails that asked about it, and where I get my cars. And I use mostly, you know, your normal like Lifelike and stuff like that. Like these are some cheap Lifelike ones, and I use the City Metal Classics, whatever they're called. I believe I have a couple Woodland Scenics, but I just Googled HO scale cars, and I came across this website here. And these guys are in England, and I'm telling you guys, I ordered them. They came in. You guys saw them on the thing. They're amazing. So you can go here. I believe they had O scale. They have different scales. I believe is 176 S. I can't remember. 172 or 176. I believe is S. Correct me if I'm wrong. But here's 187. So you go on 187 and look at these. So these are some future cars that are coming out. Look at all these. They've got some really cool stuff. Really cool police car here. I believe I ordered this one. Some sets. They've got some more modern stuff. So they've got these really nice excavators. And the other thing is, look at these prices. Amazing prices. I got all of these. So they're £6.95. I think they're not the euro. Are they euro or pound? Anyway, $6.95. I got 5 vehicles for about $41 shipped. Now to put that into perspective, that car that I showed you guys that I bought for Millie, just one of those at my hobby shop is $20 or just under $20. So this is a crazy deal. So I'm gonna show you guys. I lost you guys in the chat. There you are. You're back. I'm going to show you guys some of these because I'm really excited about them. They're just beautiful. So here's one right here. This is I know a lot of you guys would know. This is a 1956 Ford Thunderbird, and I'll take it out of the package just for now. I'm not gonna, it's screwed in there, but look at that. Isn't that great? Like just beautiful. So that's that one. This one is the this is the one I showed today. This is the 1955 Buick Century. So yeah, I love the colors of this one. It's so 50s and so classic. Yeah, it's not quite focusing, but it's not too bad. But just beautiful. So Containerman saying 148 is O, and I know they had O on there. They had a few scales. I think they even had some N scale. Don't quote me on that, but you guys can double check. And the question is, are they HO? Yes, they're 187 right there. If you can see. Come on. Anyways, right there it says 187. So they're totally HO scale. Here we go. This one here is a Cadillac Eldorado 1957. Look at that. Isn't that just totally sick? I'm really excited about these. These are so awesome. So yeah, guys, great service all the way from England. They ship worldwide. Awesome. And like I said, they've got some different eras. They've got some stuff that gets into the 70s. They had a little bit more modern stuff. So I'm definitely going to do another order soon. This guy here is a 1954 Pontiac Chieftain 4-door. I just love these. So yeah. So big shout out to Inked Rails for kind of asking me, because you're the one that kind of got me Googling. And that's all I did. I just Googled and there we go. So yeah, so Inked Rails, you're saying what era? 50s. And they didn't really go below 50s. I would like to get some 40s and 30s. I think they just look cool. Another thing too, you got to remember, back then, so now today everybody wants brand new vehicles, right? But back then, like I'm modeling 1957, right? Back then, you probably wouldn't see a lot of 1957 vehicles. We're talking about an era when people would fix what they had, right? So it wouldn't be wrong to see older, like 1930s, 40s cars on here. So I'm 100% going to do that. It'd actually be more rare to see newer cars like this on here. Like maybe a few years old, but especially in Chesley, right? Like farming community, like small town, rural, like back then, a lot of people aren't going to have brand new cars like people do today, you know? So yeah, there would be nothing wrong with that. Now this is one of my faves. This is 1957 Dodge D100 swept side pickup, and I thought this was just so killer. Look at that. And I love it because I drive a Dodge Ram. You guys probably don't know that, but just, it's not focusing, but that does say Dodge on there. It's just absolutely awesome. I am going to do a separate video on these because I'm just so happy with this company that I found them. And it's just another variety, right? You know, you guys, like, when you, I don't know if you guys are like me, but when I find something HO scale, I'm like, oh my God, yeah! So yeah, wicked, eh? Isn't that cool? So I just love that. So yeah, probably a lot of these will actually end up in Owen Sound, because Owen Sound is going to be like a downtown scene. There's an old movie theater that was down there. There's a bar across the street. There's a gas station. It's going to be really killer. So anyways, Georgia Sunbelt, post a site. I won't post it because it's a, well, you know what? I can post it. Give me 1 second here. Copy. And I got to get back into the chat here. I think that should work. Now that's just going to give you guys, I'm going to take off the HO part. I'm just going to give you the main website so you guys can get the different scales. So there you go. So just, yeah, isn't that cool? So something to do, just keep your eyes open. You'll be surprised. HO is hard to find. I see stuff in S scale sometimes. I was at Walmart the one time and saw some S scale. But I was in a gas station one day and there's some collector's vehicles and I found this. I don't even know what the company was called, but this was 187. And it's not the greatest. I mean, it's, you know, the glass in the windshield and the windows, it's just blacked out. But this is something, you know, in the background, you know, behind a building, kind of peeking out. You know what I mean? Pretty cool. Not bad. Coca-Cola. So that's something, yeah, I just found that randomly at a gas station. It was a little collector's item. So keep your eyes open. You'll be surprised. And Wilmer, I missed it, but I did see it. You said that Robert was saying, Robert Flying Crow is at Wilmer's right now, ladies and gentlemen. I got the text. And Robert was saying he has the same vehicles. He has a few of these Oxford diecast guys. Cool. All right, one more thing I wanted to talk about. We're actually making pretty good time here. Container Man 87 looks bigger. Isn't HL scale 187? Or is it 183? Isn't it 87? Yeah, Proto 87. Shouldn't be. No, these are like, that's an HO scale. That's an HO scale. Let's see. You know, I'm not going to grab a vehicle right now, but I'm happy with them. Wish their end scale was 160 instead of 148. I don't know. Maybe is this what you're talking about, Roy? It said it was 87. Let me grab it. Here, give me 1 second. Now this one's a little, the air is a little, I think this is an early, like late, like 59 into the 60s, but this is an Athearn truck. So there's an Athearn truck, and then there's this one. So I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. What do you guys think? It said it was HO scale anyways on the package. So just, that's Athearn. So that's another brand. I think that was Athearn. Doesn't say. But yeah. Anyways, there's Michael McCarroll. Hey Michael, I finally shouted out your live stream. I always miss it, and yes, we shouted that out tonight. It was actually, you can thank Wilmer for that. I messaged them just to double check what night it was. All right, intro saying, I think that truck is made by Motor City Classics. See, no, it's not. I'm pretty sure it's not. This one was like a weird, it's a made in China. It was like some kind of collector's item thing at a gas station, whereas the Motor City Classics, I have some of those. Okay, give me 1 sec. Well, this one. That pink one I showed you guys before, that was Motor City Classics that I bought for my daughter. This is Motor City Classics right here. They're they're more detailed. Yeah. Or Classic Motor. Oh, I can't remember. I'm screwing everything up. Anyways, there you go. Coolness. All right, last thing I wanted to show you guys. I was saying I was working on the trees, the Fragment trees. So I just wasn't, the Fragment trees look cool in person, but I don't like how they photograph. So some of the ones that I don't like, I'm going to move back to that corner so they can just be kind of background trees. But this is one, I've just been working away on it, and this is how they're starting to come out now. And I'm happy with them now. And I think if you wanted to get really crazy, if you see this little bit of branch structure in here, I might just give that just a dab of gray with a brush and just brush out the trunk. But you can see now, Roy Smith made a comment about, you know, getting the airiness through them. And there you go. These are starting to become successful. And there's the other side. But what I was saying, like, you see this side, it's not as good. It kind of has that puffball look. But I find if I just go a little bit more with tearing the fibers out and making them a little bit more airy and just go really, really light with the spray paint, and then a little bit of I'm using the Super Leafs. Where's my, I'm not going to grab them right now. But anyway, Super Leafs, just a few, just a sprinkle, just like a hint, right? And so that's how they're looking. So I'm really happy with how these are turning out now. All right. Cool. So let's just jump into the chat for the rest of this. We've got a few minutes left here. So yeah, that's that. So I might do an update video to this just to show like how I'm progressing with it. It's you know what I mean? That's the cool thing, thinking outside of the box car. You see something. And like I said in that video, when I originally saw the Fragmites, I thought I was going to use them as a spruce tree, like a pine tree. They kind of had that cone shape. But when I got them home, I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. All right, so there we go. Steve 87th. Okay, there we go. So HO is 187. Anyways, all right, and Steve, welcome by the way, Steve 87th PSAP, saying it's close enough. And I don't know if he's talking about N. I think he's talking about Randy's comment with N scale. Not sure. So Steve is saying, well, so as he said before about rivet counters, they focus usually on one thing, then screw the up with cars. That's I'm not going to go too crazy because I should do I see about doing that as a subject for an upload. Was rivet counters, because it's a funny thing. Like in the club, it wasn't good to be called a rivet counter, and I hear people referring to themselves as rivet counters, and that wasn't a in our club. It wasn't a compliment to be called that. I'll leave it at that for now. So we'll go on. Like, to me, it's a joke. Like the company calling their one scale trains, calling their line a rivet counter series. Like, to me, that's a joke. I think, but yeah, I'll tell you one thing. A lot of the rivet counters I knew were so hardcore and so obsessed with spline row bed. Probably a lot of people don't know what that is, but spline row bed is when you have, you know, 3 pieces of road bed, or 3 pieces of basically spline wood glued together to make your trains. It's hard to explain, but anyways, obsessed with that. Anyways, long story short, they never even got to run a train. Like, they're just so obsessed with these little things, and it was cool and great, but like never got to, right? Hey, and Wilmer, so that's the thing. Wilmer's saying he's got a rivet counter there. I wouldn't call him a rivet counter, and I'll go into it in more detail another time. I don't want to ruffle too many feathers this evening. I'm not in the mood for it. But let's just say Flying Crow is a nice guy. I think he's too nice to be a rivet counter. In my experience, rivet counters are people that put other people down and put other modelers down and just pick things apart. And I don't think Flying Crow is like that. That's my experience with other people on rivet counters. That's where I'm gonna leave it. That's why I put that meme on there. Some people got it, some people didn't. But we're gonna leave that there, okay? So Rob's saying, I used to count nuts and bolts, but I draw the line at rivets. That's awesome. That's good. Benny, you already did, my friend. I'm not sure what. Sorry, Jacob, I'm not sure what you're referring to. Counts the rivets, Wilmer. Close enough on your truck. That's right. So Dwayne's saying, okay, so guys, I don't want to get, because it can be offensive, right? Because I've heard some people referring to themselves as that, and it's all I'm gonna say is, like I said, in my time, that wasn't really a compliment. Jacob Saber. It would be a good rant video, wouldn't it? I haven't done a rant video in a long time. But the funny thing though about the rant video irritates me. Like, it bugs me when I watch the replay and I watch myself rant. It bugs me. I find myself annoying when I do that. So I just didn't. I don't know. It just rubbed me the wrong way. So I don't want to bug you guys with that. But maybe I'll do one soon. Anyways, guys, we made perfect timing tonight. That was great. Thank you so much. That went by really quick and really nice. Go ahead and promote your channels if you like. Let's see where you're at and your subs and all that. As always, I'm not going to read it out because I get so behind because I yap and get off track. But do that. Any big shows coming up, any big uploads or releases, let me know. That would be great. So, guys, that is that. Yeah, I'll just give you guys a minute here. So yeah, I think I'm going to shut it down there. Again, I just want to thank you guys so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. That is that with, as usual, happy model railroading. Stay creative. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.